Is the new Nothing But Thieves album, Dead Club City, worth a listen? Let's find out. Hey everybody, it's Nick here with you. Welcome back to the Rock Squad channel, and welcome to my rock album review for the new album from Nothing But Thieves. It's called Dead Club City. Welcome to the DCC, Dead Club City. Before we get to it, guys, if you love to rock out as much as we do here on the Rock Squad channel, make sure to smash that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. Make sure to like this video, we'd appreciate that. And make sure to share this video online with your friends and fellow rock fans. Dead Club City is the fourth studio album from British rockers Nothing But Thieves. It's the follow-up to 2020's Moral Panic, and I'm actually a pretty big Nothing But Thieves fan. I've been into them since their debut self-titled album came out in 2015. I really love that album. There's so many great songs on that record, like Ban All the Music and Wake Up Call and Trip Switch and Hostage. That's a great record. And then I've kind of checked in with them over the years. I can't say I really dug into Broken Machine or Moral Panic, but I did really like that debut record, and I've dug into some of the songs since then, including Amsterdam. I really like that one as well, and Forever and Evermore. They stayed very busy and they stayed very prolific over the last few years. And I think a lot of the best rock music right now is coming from Britain, is coming from the UK. When you think about Nothing But Thieves, and you think about Don Broco, and you think about Boston Manor, there are so many great up-and-coming rock bands just really doing great rock music coming from Britain. So Nothing But Thieves is definitely on that list for me, and I'm happy to say that this new record, Dead Club City, is pretty fantastic. Yeah, I have to say that I enjoyed this record front to back. There are a couple of weak tracks here and there, but for somebody like me who, if you've watched any of the videos on this channel, I'm always like just going on about melody and melody and melody, and Nothing But Thieves have that in spades. They have a lot of melody going on in this record. They have a great vocalist in Connor Mason. There's a lot of melody happening here, a lot of catchy hooks, and a lot of great songs on Dead Club City. And I guess it is kind of a little bit of a theme record. It's a little bit of a concept record in the way that they're trying to describe a city where you can be whoever you want, and you can do all these different things, and kind of exploring that. I guess what I've been referring it to is like night rock kind of vibe, where you can. I feel this is a great album to be listening to if you're cruising in your car at night and listen to this and picture that you're in some sort of cool city where Nothing But Thieves are the band playing all these cool songs. So really dug this record. But you know what? Let's just get into each of the songs on this album, which ones I liked and which ones I didn't. Let's go track by track. All right, so we kick things off with the lead single from this album. I guess it would be the title track. It's Welcome to the DCC, which was released a couple of months ago in advance of the record, and I think this is a fantastic song, a great single, a great first single from Dead Club City. I love the funky vibe on this song. It's got a great funky. I guess it almost reminded me of like a Michael Jackson kind of vibe. That's the vibe that I kept coming back to on this Welcome to the DCC song. It had a very Michael Jackson vibe to it, kind of like a thriller kind of thing going on, which is really cool because it has a definitely funky vibe to it. I love Connor Mason's voice on this. He's got a great falsetto. The guy's got one of the best voices in rock right now. As a vocalist myself, I wish that I could do the things that Connor Mason does. He's such a fantastic vocalist. So his voice is great on this song, and I just really, really love this funky riff. It's a little bit different from some of the stuff they did in the past. They've been mostly a straight-ahead rock band. They've always done things that have been funky and have a lot of groove to them, but I think a lot of fans were a little bit thrown off by this song being as funky as it is, but that's no problem with me, and I love Welcome to the DCC. Overcome is one of the best songs for me on Dead Club City. It's got a definitely crossover feel to it. It could be on rock radio, it could be on pop radio. It's definitely that type of strong track, and it's a great second song on this album to keep things really rolling along. The band really, they balance pop and rock really well. That's one of the things I really noticed about them, that they have a lot of poppy elements, kind of almost like Sam Smithy kind of elements to when you listen to Connor Mason's voice. They kind of have a similar kind of timbre and kind of tone to their voice. So they border on pop, but they're still a rock band, and they balance that really, really well. And I think that Overcome is one of those songs that balances it. I love the 80s style piano and synths on the chorus. Absolutely love that vibe and love that sound. And I think that Overcome is a really strong song. And then we get to a song called Tomorrow Is Closed. And this song's just it's really jaunty. It's like almost like a Beatles-esque kind of jaunt to it, kind of romp to it, which I thought was really fun because it's a little bit different than some of the other straight-ahead rock stuff that they do. This one's a little bit poppier. It has a lot of great piano on it. It reminded me a little bit almost of the new 21 Pilots album, Scaled and Icy, because they went super pop and super like Elton John and Beatles and 60s and 70s pop on that album. And this song could fit on something like that. It's kind of vibe that they're going for. It's still melodic, and it really is a really strong song. So I really enjoyed Tomorrow Is Closed. Keeping You Around is one of the more understated songs on Dead Club City. It had a more understated vocal from Connor Mason. You know, he does a lot of, like I was saying, a lot of great things, a really high falsetto. He does a lot of crazy things vocally on this record and in general with Nothing But Thieves. But on this song, it's a little more understated. He keeps things in his lower register, which I thought was really cool because obviously he can do the crazy stuff, but he keeps things a lot more subdued on this song. It has more of a subdued melody to it, which I really liked. It was more like kind of low key on this album. There are some more low-key tracks on here, but generally I think things were pretty high energy, and it's actually had a really cool bridge in it as well, with some really cool harmonies, great harmonies happening in general on this album, and I thought this was a subdued but still really great track, and I liked Keeping You Around. Then we get to a song called City Haunts, and man, Connor Mason's falsetto on this vocal is absolutely incredible. He's already done some high stuff, but this song, it reaches all new levels. It's high as fuck, reminds me of Prince. I feel like he's definitely channeling his inner Prince on City Haunts, and it kicks in and it kicks hard. It sounds really cool right from the get-go. It's groovy as fuck. It's got a great kind of feel to it. Really dug that as well, and it kind of reminded me of another great British band, Royal Blood, and their album Typhoons, which came out a couple years ago. That was another great kind of dancey rock record, and it felt like this was kind of in the same vein as that, and definitely one of the the best songs on the album for me. So I really enjoyed City Haunts. One of my favorite tracks on Dead Club City by far is Do You Love Me Yet? This song starts out with synths galore, and it almost felt like it could be a sequel or a part two to Welcome to the DCC, the first track on this record. They could be paired together and almost form some sort of, Dead Club City suite, the way that they kind of sound similar to each other. But this was like, man, this was such a great song. This was like one of my favorite songs of the album. The hook on this song was absolutely incredible. Definitely one of the songs I'm going to be adding to my 2023 rock playlist. Really enjoyed this one. It was one of my favorites on the album, so highly recommend this track. If you're gonna pull away any tracks from Dead Club City, Do You Love Me Yet is definitely one of the songs that you should be picking. As we get into the middle of Dead Club City, it's not quite as strong as it is in the first half of the album for my money, but there are some great songs. We'll get to those, but Members Only definitely feels like a little bit of a filler track for me. It kicks off with a really heavy riff, which I thought was cool, but otherwise it felt like it could have been on their first album, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just, it doesn't feel like it has quite the same kind of effort and vibe put into the melody and the production on this song as much as some of the other songs that we've already heard on Dead Club City on the first half of the album. So it felt a little bit of a filler track to me. It was still okay, but Members Only for me was not a great track. Then we get to a song called Green Eyes Sienna. This is definitely one of the first major ballads on Dead Club City, and this is the type of thing that Connor Mason could do in his sleep. He's such a great singer, especially for ballads like this. He really knows how to put the emotion into it and to pull on your heartstrings. I definitely felt the emotion when I was listening to the song. I didn't cry, but I got close. Maybe didn't go full cry, but it was definitely emotional during the listening experience for me. And he kills this shit. He knows how to do ballads in his sleep, and he does this one really well. And I think this is the type of song that when you go see them live, if it's on the set list, all the fans are going to be having their phones out for this one. I don't know why people don't use lighters anymore, but everybody's going to be having their phones out for this song. And I thought it was a really strong track, especially for Connor Mason's vocal on this one. So I really enjoyed Green Eyes and Sienna. Foreign Language was definitely one of the filler tracks for me on Dead Club City. It was one of the songs, the melody just didn't really grab me at all, and that's okay because this album in general is fairly strong. It's okay to have a couple of weak tracks as you get later on in the set list, but Members Only was definitely not one of the stronger tracks for me on Dead Club City, so I'm going to have to say this one is a skip for me. Thankfully, though, Dead Club City finishes on a very strong note with the last two tracks on the record. We have Talking to Myself, which is another softer track as you get towards the end of the album. Bands do that all the time. They always get into the soft ballad tracks as the album gets towards the end. I know that's an intentional decision on the track list, and that's something they're doing with this. We'll get to the last song on this album, which I think balances out very well, but Talking to Myself had a great melody and great vocal. It's great to have another strong track towards the end of the album because we did have a couple of filler tracks there, and I thought this was a really strong song, so I really enjoyed Talking to Myself. Then we get to a song called Pop the Balloon. This is the last track on Dead Club City. And, Nothing But Thieves decided to throw everything into this track and just go a little bit crazy, which is something that I really dug. It felt a little bit almost like Cop Syrup from Biffy Clyro's album, Celebration of Endings, which, again, is just kind of like a crazy track towards the end of the album. And this song, it has a really great riff at the beginning, but it reminded me of Daft Punk and their song Robot Rock. Did anybody else get that? from this track? Let me know in the comments below, because that's definitely the vibe that I got from it. But I dig it. It's like, you know, just kind of fuzzy and distorted, and it's kind of fucked up and left of center, but still a really cool melody. I really dug that as well. And then it kind of caught me a little bit off guard towards the middle of it when it kind of dipped, and I thought the song had ended. And I thought maybe when it came back, because it came back after a minute or so, that was a bonus track, but it still was the same song as Pop the Balloon. Got a little bit confused there, but it was still very, very cool vibe. Had a cool guitar, you know, riff at the end as well, and that was something I really enjoyed. I think that Nothing But Thieves in general is a really, like, they're a guitar band, they're a rock band, but they don't do a lot of solos, and they're not necessarily all about the guitars. And so on this song, it was neat for them to do something that was really focused around the guitar players, which is something that I really, really enjoyed. And I thought this was a cool song to end off the album, a little bit left of center, especially when you had some of the other softer tracks, which were before the, you know, towards the middle and end of the album. So I really enjoyed Pop the Balloon, and I thought it was a great track to end off Dead Club City. Overall, I think that Nothing But Thieves and their fourth studio album, Dead Club City, is a really strong effort. I thought this was a really great album from the band. They're at the top of their game. Connor Mason's vocals are absolutely incredible. The instrumentation, the production, and everything else going on this album, very crisp, very modern, very cool. Like I said, I think a lot of the best rock music is coming out of the UK right now. It often has for many, many years. Anybody knows me and knows this channel knows that I love UK rock. I love Blossoms, Don Broco, Stereophonics, Oasis, all that stuff. My favorite stuff was from the UK, but I think there is a fresher crop of rock bands from the UK that are really doing great things right now, and I think that Nothing But Thieves is on that list. I think, yeah, like Connor Mason's vocals were incredible, great instrumentation, the band sounds top notch, really good stuff from everybody on this record. Some songs were weak, most of it was strong. I think I had that, like I said at the beginning of the review, a night rock kind of vibe to it. I can picture myself cruising around, during the summer here at night, listening to this album, feeling like I'm cruising through Dead Club City. So the vibe that they were going for on this record, I feel like they achieved that and had a great vibe for me, and a really strong effort overall from Nothing But Thieves. So I'm going to give their new album, Dead Club City, a solid 4 out of 5. All right, guys, that is it for my review for the new album from Nothing But Thieves, Dead Club City. Let me know what you thought of the record in the comments below. Make sure to like this video. We would appreciate that. And make sure to subscribe to us here on the Rock Squad channel. Thank you to everybody who's been subscribing over the last little while. We've seen a lot of growth here on the channel, and I've really been enjoying reading everybody's comments and responding and just talking about all this great rock music that we all love so much. So thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed, please do that. Make sure to share this video online. Make sure to check us out on social media, on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Rock Squad Pod. And if you love rock music, you might like my band. We're like Oasis and Foo Fighters and Weezer and that kind of thing. We're called Fools Union. You can check us out at foolsunion.com. But I'll see you guys again in the next rock album review. Until then, rock on, everybody. Welcome to the DCC, Dead Club City.